Welcome to another episode of Fix It or Trash It here. This is Skip Jeffries coming from the bedroom here. As you can see here, we've got, I guess we call this one of those vibrating beds, movable, posable, whatever you want to call it. Recently, within the last, I'd say month, this project I've been kind of dreading doing for the longest time, and I don't know why, but we need to get it fixed, we kind of messed around with stuff here. Let's do some quick self-diagnosing. I mean, there's a lot of components on this part itself. I mean, looking right here, you've got your vibrating motors. Here, you've got your up and down motors here. And then you got the same thing on this side here. Your vibrator here, your motor here. You got here's like your power source divider between your front and your back here. And then you've got your brains of the whole unit here. So what we noticed that was going on with this thing, my wife gave me a call, I think it was at work at the time, but we'll go ahead and plug this number 3 in here. As you can see, that motor is vibrating. That tells me that it's not a bad motor, because if we pull off the one from the front or the foot end here and plug it into that one, it'll vibrate also. To me, that sounds like something that's gone wrong with the head itself. And to make things easier, I'd like to kind of number these. I'm hoping I never have to go back into this thing to do any type more fixes with it, but just in case you have to, we'll go ahead and put some numbers on here. Number 4, this one here, we can do a number 3, 2, and 1. So now that we diagnosed that it wasn't the motor, we went on, I tried to look on Amazon. Normally you can get just about anything on Amazon, but in this case here, we were not able to, so we ended up having to get another whole new control unit. This is a used one, but guaranteed to work, and I wish I had the info on it, who we bought it from and whatnot all. What I'm thinking that's gone wrong in this thing here is that probably one of the relay switch, or the switch that controls the on-off, has failed on it, so it probably could be brought into a small electrician shop to be fixed, but figured see what we can find. Amazon didn't have anything close. They did have the motors, and but they didn't have the control units. I guess this is a older bed style. I think when we bought it was like 5, 6, maybe even a little bit longer back or farther in time than what we're thinking. But anyways, this one here was on eBay. They did I found a place that sold them for new, but it was almost $200. This one here I think came out to 36 and some change. About a $45 repair after taxes and shipping. So we're gonna see if we can get this thing to work. I may mess around with that old head unit later to see if we can fix it, but it should be a pretty simple operation here. I think we can disconnect everything going to the box itself, and then disconnect the box from the bed and put everything back together and do a quick test run. What we will start is probably unplug the electricity on this thing, not just for safety wise. So let's go ahead and take apart these clips here. Like I said, I numbered them just to make it easier when I put the new one in, so we're not messing around with a whole lot of testing. So number 1, number 2 here, these are not the easiest things to get off. They're just a side mount clip here. You just kind of squeeze the ends and the clipping function separates. This last one out of here, and these bars should just flip up and over, if I remember right. Let's get some light on that situation. All right, there looks like some kind of release bar here maybe. Yep, that just pulls out. That should just pop off, and that should just pop off, releasing the whole unit itself. Are out with the old and in with the new, and they are relatively the same unit. I double verified before I clicked the purchase button on this thing. So we'll go ahead, just kind of reverse order down into those little notches there. Alright, and as you can see here, it's got a little clip that's got to focus on. Alright, that should do it. Number 1, and as you can see, these things here got their own little diagnostic notch on it. Should be a quick insert, snap in. Number 2, go number 3, and number 4. Click in that one, and these all go in a certain way here. Looking for your little notch groove right there. So let's go ahead and alrighty, now that should be all connected. Let's go ahead and connect our power back up. And okay, we got the little blinky lights. Grab the remote. Let's see if the foot works. This one should be, I think, we may have to reset the power on this thing, I'm guessing. Should be a red light or green light, and the green light's lit. Thinking we got to reset the remote to the new head unit would make sense. So I'm thinking everything's connected. We just got to figure out how to set this up. That part is done. In with the out with the new. I'm hoping this fixes it. I thought we could, I forgot about the remote having to be lined up, so we'll have to do some research on that. Figure out how that gets adjusted adjusted to the new motor here. I think there's a button somewhere in here. Yeah. Anyways, we've got the new replaced with the old. Like I said, we'll have to mess with the resetting of the remote here. I'll have to do some research and be back at it. Alrighty, back again here. Took a couple minutes to kind of look at this thing here. As you can see here, it's got a pairing LED and a reset. We're going to try to reset that. And it's also got a button back here. I have a feeling we're going to have to push at the same time. Let's go ahead and give it a shot, see what happens. There we go. That was the top. There's the bottom. So I think we've got it fixed. Pretty quick, pretty easy. So, but anyways, like I said, this one here is too expensive to trash, so we had to attempt to fix. Like I said, it wasn't a really cheap fix, but it wasn't also expensive fix either. So I mean, right around 45 bucks, and it's a new head unit and everything seems to work. I'll test the other motors. We didn't have any issues with them as far as going up and down in the front and the back. I don't foresee any problems with that. I'm going to double check the wiring on this thing here just to make sure everything is kind of out of the way that it needs to go. They've got little wire hookups here and there for these things to kind of keep them in place, and we'll just kind of reroute stuff, make sure that everything's not going to bind or catch anywhere where it's not supposed to. All in all, I think we can call this one a fix. Alrighty, the moment of truth here. Let's see if we got everything to work. Let's try the levitate here. Should be top half. As you can see, that works. Let's go ahead or raise the lower half. Let's see if we've got rumble. Oh yeah, and lights. My favorite thing is 0G. I believe we've got everything working here. We'll shut her on down. We'll call this one a fix, folks. Thanks for watching.